So I welcome you all to this week 3 of our course. And till now we are not, we will be just sharing, I'll be just sharing my screen with you people. And let's talk about few important things that we have to discuss. And this week will be a very important week, not only because of course we will be discussing some of the topics here, but also this week would be giving you, as I said, that these concepts that we'll be discussing during this week will give you a very good sense of how to go about your assignment, because there are lots of new things that you find in your assignment, and I will be just looking or touching every topic over there, and you will be, as I said, there are lots of questions that you will be able to solve after today's class and this week's session on Wednesday. So we are very much in week 3 of our course, and today we'll talk about JavaScript strings, we'll talk about arrays, and we'll talk about the regular expressions. And those who have read the assignment completely, they must know that yes, they have to deal with strings a lot during the assignment. They have to deal with arrays sometimes. They have to deal with regular expressions, so to speak. What are those regular expressions? I will be discussing this week that what are those regular expressions. So, but again, all in all, if you have seen that assignment 1 uploaded, you will find there are number of interesting concepts that would be touching your concept. And not only, you don't have to write very lengthy codes, rather you have to write small codes that would be making sense of it. And there is whole loads and loads of documentation being given over there that you will be just looking at when you are solving those problems. So let's talk about first of all talk about objects and object-oriented programming. So we are just starting that object-oriented programming concept. But in Web 3.2, interestingly, this week today I had a lecture, and there we discussed some of the modern aspect of modern or object-oriented programming. But again, we'll be touching that as well, and we will be having an interesting discussion on some of the aspects of our programming languages. Right. So it will be an introduction to objects as well. I'm expecting at least that you people know what is object-oriented programming in general. Please correct me if I'm wrong in chat window. Do you people have a concept of object-oriented programming in general? What is object-oriented programming? Okay, I've got few messages that I'm unable to see. Okay, that's very good, Alex, Mark, because you are studying that object-oriented course. I understand. Anyhow, so you know that there we try to create objects for the classes. There are classes, and then we create objects, and on the basis of those objects, we try to work on different things. Those objects have encapsulated data, and the data and the actions, the variables and the functions together, encapsulated in one class. And then we work on objects to basically check them or to work on them. So I'm expecting that you people know, as you said, that you people know about that. So an interesting observation in our, for example, if you talk about, let's go to our inspect, let's go to console. I want all of you to go to this console. Here what I'm saying is var. We'll be talking about var and let and that things as well today. And I say var, and let's say n1 equal to, and what name is last? Samuel. So I will just take Samuel. I've just taken the Samuel's name. It was the last name in our chat window. Okay, so I've stored this n1 is equal to Samuel. All of you can see that. Now, when we store string in this way, and I press n1, so I see Samuel because Samuel has been has been saved in n1, and n1 represents a string that has Samuel value, right? Now, if I press n1 and I press dot, do you people see something interesting? That you see lots of features, lots of things are available over here, and we have to talk about them, and we'll talk about them in later detail. But what I try to say is right now is that even though this n1 we have not created is as an object. You remember, as you know that how to create objects. I'll tell you that how to create objects. Do you know that how to create objects in specifically in Java and in and C++ as well, usually. So this is the way to make string objects. And before Samuel is Noshin name. So let's take Noshin. I'm looking these names in the chat window, right? So whoever is I'm finding chat window, I'm just copying that. So if I write this, I have created an object. I hope you understand that. So I would be very happy if someone can put that dashed line after every yeses, so that we know that now we are getting responses for the other question. So you see that var n2 is equal to new string Noshin. Now n2 is another string being created, and this is an object of string class, and string is a predefined class which is available over there. Okay, let's talk about this one. As Mark says, yes, this is you have created an object. But here, if you see n1 is equal to Samuel, we are talking about that this one is a this is one, this is one variable, string variable that is containing a string. Even though it is not a new object, it is not something that we are creating with new, but this n1 or n2 both, if I press n1 dot, you get all these features behind from JavaScript, and you can use all of them. And one of them is n1 dot length. Let's just quickly check that. Otherwise, I've said you I will check everything. So it says that Samuel has 6 length, 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So Samuel has 6 length. So it means JavaScript in background converts everything into object. When I've made this n2, you see that n2 also has all these available, and I can see that n2 dot length as well, and it says Noshin n2 has 7 length. What do we want to understand here? We are not concerned with length and everything. We'll talk about these features and these properties as well. But what I'm saying that when I'm defining only n1 without new keyword, still I'm getting all these properties with it, n1 dot length or whatever you want, right? And when I'm defining this string variable by using an object of that string class, I'm still getting all those methods. It means, now please note that down with you. It means, yes, Sufyan, I welcome you. You have not missed a lot, but I will just repeat everything what we are doing over here. A quick review. So I was telling everyone, Sufyan, you can catch from here. I was telling everyone that in JavaScript, when you create a string variable, var n1 is equal to Samuel, right? So it has we have defined a string variable, and here we are defining Sufyan, you can follow it up. We are creating an object of string class. You know how to create objects of class. I think you people know that some of the students, they have given me this feedback. They know that how to create objects. So when we just create a variable of a string type, or we create an object of a string class, both ways we get these features with us. When I press n1 and dot, so I will find a lots of functions over here that I can use for myself, and we'll be using a lot of them today in our class. And also, in assignment, you need to use a lots of string functions to work on your assignments. So, are you getting that? So when I press n1 dot, it is giving the same functions. If I press n2 dot, it is giving the same functions. So the inferencing here is that when we create simple variables, even in JavaScript, they also are treated as object in the backdrop. In the backend, JavaScript treats them as object. Why? Because these features are supposed to be available. When I say n1 dot, and these features, these properties were supposed to be available only to objects, but here it is available to a normal variable, normal string variable. It means JavaScript at the backend has changed this n1 also into something called an object. Excuse me. So it means, in summary, JavaScript at the back gate tries to convert everything into that object notation. I hope that makes sense to everyone, because our discussion will be based on this question. So I want everyone to be very clear. Sufyan, did you get my point, what I'm saying? That the properties that I'm getting after pressing this dot, they are supposed to come for the objects, not for a simple variable. Excuse me. But since I have defined this n1 as a normal variable, and I'm getting these features, n1 dot length, dot big, dot blink, etc., it means that on the back end, behind the doors, JavaScript has converted this n1 also into a string. Does that make sense, Sufyan, to you? Sufyan, you getting my point? Or anyone else? Oh, Sufyan, you are not getting that. Sufyan, you are a bit late, but again, okay, let me ask rest of you. Rest of the students, do you people understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the difference between these two things, that a normal variable and an object, and the behavior of JavaScript converting a normal variable into an object? I hope you all understand that. Excuse me, I'll have to take a bit of water. All right. Excuse me. Right. So, okay. So what I want to say here is, Sufyan, for you, I will just summarize both of the things. When I say variable name1 equal to Sufyan, let's take your name. So if I say variable name1 is equal to Sufyan, so Sufyan, I have just defined a simple string variable that contains Sufyan. You get the point, Sufyan? Quickly just respond me so that I can understand that you are understanding. Okay. And then now saying var name2 equal to new string and Sufyan. Again, I'm saving Sufyan, or maybe your second name. What is your second name? Mustafa. Mustafa. And I'm saving this one. Now, I've created not a normal variable, rather I've created, you see the difference, that it is an object of a string class. Do you see here? It shows that this is a string class object. Sufyan, do you see that? And it says that this string contains at 0 location M, at 1 U, S, T, A, F, A, and length is 7, and there are lots of things. But I'm not concerned with them. I'll come to that in today's lecture. But right now, I don't want to confuse anyone. Now, Sufyan, look at these two methods. Look at two methods of creating variable. Here, I have created a normal variable, normal string variable, stored Sufyan in it, and this is saving Sufyan. Here, I've created a object. Sufyan, do you know what is the object of a class? How to create the object of a class? I'm anticipating that you people know this, because some of the people in the beginning said that yes, we know how to do that. Anyhow, if you don't know, let's see here that whenever you have to make object of a string class, what you do is var name2 equal to new. This new keyword is, technically speaking, it reserves memory and does lots of things. New string, the class name is a string, and store Mustafa in it. So I have created this var name2 new string Mustafa. So name1 is a normal string variable, name2 is an object of a class string. So if you are getting the point, these two things, that name1 is a normal variable, name2 is an object of class. You got the point, Sufyan? What I'm saying is, it's like an array, I guess. Yes. So what I'm saying is name1 dot. When I press name1 dot, Sufyan, even though name1 is a normal variable, but JavaScript treats normal variables also as objects of the class. Why I am saying that? That when I press this dot, these features which are available right now over here, these are supposed to always come with the objects rather than normal variables. Sufyan, you are getting my point? Name1 dot, I press name1 dot, and it is giving me all those features that are not supposed to be here in a normal language. Normal language would say name1 dot is nothing. Why? Because name1 is a normal variable. Name1 is not an object of a class. So if you are getting my point, in JavaScript, whenever we define a string, that becomes an object by itself. So when I say name1 dot, I'm looking at all the properties that I can set for, or I can call few functions over here. So that will be called as that name1 dot, name1, even though it's a normal variable behaving as an object. So to end my discussion on that, because we have already discussed a lot about that. So what I will say is that I will end our discussion on a string that JavaScript treats all variables in the same way as objects. Okay. Sufyan, if it is making a slight sense to you, you will be able to just cope up with the rest of the things. If you are just understanding that JavaScript always tells or always treats all normal strings as normal variables as well as objects. I hope that makes sense, Sufyan, now a bit. But again, I will just let you know that if something comes in between our way. Sufyan, should I go about it? Okay, that's very good. Thank you. Now, yes, let's talk about some interesting aspects of it. So you know that JavaScript objects, like in JavaScript, normal variables are also treated as objects. Now let's talk about strings, because first of all we have to discuss the strings. You know, if you have worked in C language only, there was no string data type in C language. If you remember, we used to make strings by using this method, array of characters. Do you remember? Do you people remember? If you can just put up a yes. C language does not have any string data type, string literals. So what we do is that we make char arrays, character arrays, and that character array represents as a string in C language. That's very good. People remember that. In the same way, we can just define this way. This is a character, like these are storing this characters separately. But again, that would be my name is Arnold or whatever. This has been saved, and this is also saving the same thing. So in C, you used to create a string like that. But in JavaScript, as I shown you, that you can directly define a string and you can directly work on that string, and that string will have a lots of features that you will be working as, even though in JavaScript or in the previous languages so see here, Sufyan, your answer will almost be clear. So if it's a C language program, it will declare a string. So again, it's a declare a string of characters, an array of characters. String length, we can find out string length by using string length function, strcpy. We can just copy a string from something to something else. strcmp, str compare two strings, strcat, concatenate, we can do that. JavaScript allows to work with strings, but because JavaScript is an object-oriented language, a JavaScript string is an object with various properties and methods. Now, what properties and methods we are talking about? We are talking about the same properties and methods that we look shortly. You remember, we have talked about those. Right, so let's come to here and name one dot. You remember, these are all the properties and methods that we can work on in JavaScript, and JavaScript provides us this facility to work on all these properties and methods. So JavaScript typically gives us this facility to work on properties and methods, and it treats every string as an object. And you remember our discussion of at least 10-20 minutes, that if you normally define a variable, that will also be treated as a string. Now see here, one way to think about is object is like a string, is to imagine combining a C strings data type with a function that operate on that data. Instead of needing to specify which string we want to work with all functions and operate a particular instance of a string, another way to look at this would be imagine the data and functions for working with that data is combined. So as I said, data and function combined together into a single container. If we were able to do that in C language, what could we have done? String str.hello, str is equal to hello, string declared. We are talking about that if C language was providing us this facility. So if we could see, we would be able to write the code and more like this. String str is equal to hello, string defined. Int length, len, equal to str.len. So do you know, we do not check str.len, rather we call a string function and access that. So function is separate, data is separate. And if you are doing something like this, length is equal to string.len, it means data and function, data and property are all embedded together in one container. What does that mean? So see here, and then they are calling str.cmp, str2 string comparison, and these two functions are separately being called. But let's see here. Here we are saying that str.len, length, it means that we are talking about that if you want to find out the length of this string, you can do that str.len, and JavaScript gives us this facility of doing all those things. As I said again, that you can always have those string values that you can check. This is so in the made up above code, the data str is attached to functionality that we can call via dot notation. Using str dot, we are no longer need to indicate the functions which string to work with. All string functions work on the string data on which they are attached. So if the property or function is attached in a single container, what we are able to do is that we can call this str.len. And again, this will make sense to you as we will scaffold on this topic. But right now you consider that in JavaScript, methods and object properties and methods, they are all embedded with the data. So if I ask any one of you, do you know the definition of encapsulation in inheritance? Can anyone tell me definition of encapsulation in inheritance? Can anyone tell me if you have studied encapsulation? ENC, let me just write down. Sometimes pronunciation is no. Okay. Encapsulation, something like this. So Sufyan says do not know. Sufyan, that's a very good answer. Inheritance. Oh no, I'm talking about encapsulation. Yes, maybe in C++ or somewhere. The ability. Yes, Samuel is very good. Merging data members and member function. Very good. Samuel has given a very good definition, and Khushwant has given a very good definition. Merging data members and member functions. So what we do is combining the data and behavior, combining the data and functions together. So what you have to remember from this point, JavaScript allows us to work on strings in a way like strings, like data and functions are collectively together in one container, and we can call those functions by using that particular string, not by using anything else. Somebody, you have to remember that point from here. And again, as I said, that will be scaffolding on that topic, and you will be making understood, like you'll be making sense of it more. So first thing, JavaScript treats our string as that it combines the data and functionality into one type, and that container is basically string container. We have seen that string container over here. We have seen that string container when we are defining, when we were defining the name2, you remember we have talked about name2, and you see when I say name2, it says that string. Now what is that string? This string is, for example, it contains characters mostly, and then it has something. I'll tell you that. What is that? These are all the functions that can be accessed on what? On this string. So do you see that this string is concatenating all this data? This is the data of it, and this is the functions or methods associated with it. I hope now this will be making sense. Sufyan, are you getting that now? That when you have defined a string class object, this is the data in which you have to work on, and these are the functions that you can work on. Okay. And Sufyan, now let me tell you that difference, because you will be happy to listen that. Now, yes, exactly, you are right. Now see here, name2 is equal to name1 is equal to Sufyan. Name1 was stored as Sufyan. So Sufyan or Khushwant, let me ask you, Khushwant, is this name1 I have created as an object of string class? Yes or no? Have I made this as an object of string class? Khushwant, yes or no? Sufyan, yes or no? Have I myself created? No. Sufyan, this is very good. It means you understand the concept. Khushwant, do you know what we are talking about? That I have not created it as a new string object, and that's why it is not showing the same string thing over here, how it is showing over here. You got my point? Now listen about it. See here, what are the functions available to this? Anchor, bake, blink, so on. Let's talk about one of them, and I'm just trying to make you understand lots of things. So these are all the functions that are available over here, and there are certain properties that are available over here. Let's see that what are those properties. And now, if I talk about this, and I say name1 dot, do I look at some of the properties over here as well? So now listen about it. Even though name1 was not defined as a string object, but it contains, when it has become a string, when I've stored Sufyan in it, so it now can access all those member variables, member functions that were available to string Mustafa, like string when we created this class. You see blink, big, anchor. So blink, char code add, char point add, concat, string. So all these functions will be available to what? To name1 as well. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Blink, you can see that blink, bold, char add, character code add. We are looking at it. I'll stop here for a bit because I might be going fast. So is it clear to everyone? I want response from everyone. Till this point, everyone is clear about that? All clear. That's very good. That's very good. I'm getting good responses. That's very good. Thank you very much. Yes, I can see a lots of people are saying that they understand. Okay. So if you understand that, now we have to discuss something very interesting. And I hope you would have seen that. JavaScript string. Now we are discussing about the JavaScript string methods and all those things, properties that are available. Here are a few examples how you can declare a string in JavaScript. First, using string literal, followed by a call to new operator, and the string object constructor form. Now we can define strings in both of these forms. Var s is equal to some text with single quotations, var s1 is equal to some text with double quotations, var s2 is equal to template literal using backticks. Now, this is something that I always wanted to discuss with all of you, because let's talk about this. Okay, I will be running a file, and I hope you know how to run a file. I will be running it with index.html script.js. You remember how to run your own function if you want to check. So I will be leaving that on you, and will be giving 2 minutes to you. All of you should be ready, and we should have control tick. Let me just check. So I have that server also running, so I can check this file over there in that index.html. I hope you remember, all of you remember npx like server, right? So you are running that server as well over here. So quickly set up a value, or you can set up by the time I'm just discussing, because I will be discussing few important concepts. So it says that you can define a string s1 equal to, by using this single quotation, hello world, right? Or what you can do is you can define s1 or declare and give it a value by using double quotations. Sorry, not s1, I will bring s2. Hello world, whatever. So spelling does not matter. I'm not right now concerned with the spelling. I'm just, and maybe that will be good. And you can define something like s3 equal to backticks. Now, are you familiar with this backticks? Where does this backticks reside in our on our keyboard? Anyone would like to tell me where this backticks reside on our keyboard at least first, and then we'll talk about backticks. What is backticks used for? Beside the number one. Yes, this is good. Below escape key and beside number one. And these are called template literals. These are called template literals. And I need to talk about that, because you would have seen that in your assignment as well, that backticks have been used frequently in there. So I would like to just put discuss something. Template literal is the most, what you can call it, the most easy form or most important form for using the different variables. And what does that mean? That this template literal, what we can do inside this template literal is called interpolation. So I want all of you to just take a note of this, because I'll be doing that in our coming. So what is this? I will say first string, and the first string is s1, So what I'm doing, first string, and I can place these special symbols and write s1 is using single quotes, right? And let's write that as well. Second string, and what is the second string? Variable sign, bracket sign, and s2 is using double quotes. So I've defined that in backtick, and I wanted to know you the difference between the backtick and all those things. And I'm pressing here s3. Right. So first of all, first question: how many of you are familiar with this syntax? I hope if you have started working on your assignment and you have started to look here and there, you would be able to find that big backtick and you know the syntax. But how many of you say you have seen this syntax for the first time? You can write it first time, or you can write it I know. Me means Jonah, you have first time. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Now I'll just, when I'll have that data that how many people do not know, I will be better able to understand and explain that. First time Dhaval says. Anyone else? Anyone who has already used that before? Jonah, I think you said me means you are first time too. Okay, no problem. No problem. You're looking at it for the first time. Anyone else? Use dollar in bash. Okay, okay. Use dollar in bash. You have used that first time. Sorry for what. Okay, Khushwant, I'm talking about these backticks and using the variable in this syntax. Khushwant, I'm asking this, that have you used that before or not? Anyhow, if you, I'm just now considering that we are discussing it for the first time. Okay, you have done that in Linux. That's very good. So it's more or less look. You need to just compare that. What is the difference between these two, and what is that? So this is called string interpolation. We are interpolating our string inside another string, right? What does that mean? In a backtick, what we can do is that we can just write our string in a normal way. And whenever you need to use a variable, you see we have one variable s1, one variable s2. So I'm writing first string s1. I need this value s1 to come over here and s2 to come over here. So whenever you are using these backticks, the concatenation of a string, the interpolation of a string becomes very easy. And how do you do that? You are writing your normal string, and wherever you need. Do you people remember? Let me discuss one thing very interesting. Do you people remember this printf? My age is, yes, my age is %d, and that blah 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 blah. Remember the syntax of this? Okay, I'll tell you, Mark. Yes, that's right. So you remember this syntax? Now, what is happening here? You know that in a string, whenever it will find %d, it will try to find out its value, and it will find that age value over here. Mark, I have noted your question, and this is a very good question. I'll tell you that what is the difference between these two. So now it is basically an important thing that what I can do is that I can just this changes this %d to the age. Everyone agrees after Dhaval's yes? Everyone agrees that this is happening? Okay. Now let's talk about another thing. The same way what we are doing is, if you have used this backticks, you need to do what? You can just quickly go and put that over here. And what will happen is that you will just get, typically you will just get what? That you have got this converted into S1. The S1 variable would come here. And the syntax for doing it is, if you have seen that, I'm just writing that syntax. The syntax for that is $, and this curly braces. And in between that, let me tell you a very interesting thing. In between that, you can write any expression that evaluates to a value. What does that mean? If I write 2 + 2, it should display the output. If I write anything that evaluates to something, so it will just show 2 + 2. Or if I say 4 - 3, so this expression will evaluate. So it means that here I want to just display that. So first of all, let's run this one. Let me just remove these two things so that you do not get confused. And let's run that one and see what is happening. And Mark has asked a very good question. Mark, I'll reply to your question. Control S, I've saved this, and I think this is running for me. This is running for me. I'll just check that. And since I'm console logging, so I'll see everything in console. Okay. So do you see? First string hello world is using single quotes. Second string hello world. Do you people see that at the both places it has converted? This is S2 and this is S1, right? So this is called interpolating your string. You have interpolated this string S1. Now a question from Mark. Let me just take Mark. I'm just copying your comment over here, and I will show you that. Mark, I've just copied the like Mark has asked a question, and I would let you know that as well. Just for understanding purpose, I'm defining an S4 maybe, because we have got till now, and paste. So I've pasted your thing, like Mark. So Mark is asking this S4, S4, and Mark is saying that first string S1 is using this, and second string is S1, S2 is using that. So Mark has asked a very good question, and it's missing semicolon. Yes, thank you, Mark. Right. So now let's check it and let's discuss it. It's a very interesting concept. Let me just I'm stopping this console S3 and I'm just consoling the S4. Save, and now I'm running it. You see here, first string hello world using single. So both are same. So now listen about that, Mark. A very good question. String interpolation becomes so very easy by using these backticks that you don't even need to remember that where this always becomes, sometimes this always becomes a very cumbersome syntax of using the inverted commas and then concatenating it with the string variable or any variable. Mark, are you getting that? So there is no difference between those two statements in terms of their execution. But yes, exactly, it is the concatenation. But Jason, what is going on? It's basically letting us know, it's basically telling us that you are doing that plus concatenating this S1. So same way you are concatenating this. But Jason, don't you think that this is a very easy way of concatenating things? Don't you think that, Jason? Because that will help you a lot. You don't need to use a plus. And sometimes this becomes a very cumbersome, that you have to again that plus and then S2, and I always do mistake in that. And blah, 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 blah. So, yes, this will be trying to connect this S2 as well over here. But it is a lot more easier to run that, and it's a lot more fun to work with the backticks rather than that. So you see here, hello world, and that hello world is also coming with blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's very cool. Yes, Manuk, you are right. This is very cool. So I hope you all understand the concept of this backtick over here. And I'm very happy that you are all getting everything. Okay, and then JavaScript. So these are the three things. These are called, and what are these called? These are called template. Okay, Rishabh says, explain it once more. Rishabh, there are two strings over here. One is S4 and one is S3. Sorry. Do you see both of them? So Rishabh, S4 says first in inverted commas, first string, and I had to concatenate S1 here. So what I needed to do, I close this string, put a plus sign, put a string, put plus sign, then inverted commas, and then close that. Then plus sign S2, plus sign S2. Rishabh, do you understand this statement? What this statement is doing? This is concatenating first string with S1 and then, okay, that's good. Now, you had to do what? You had to stop your string literally, then press a plus sign, and then S1, and then plus again, and then another string. Then plus, then a variable, then a string, right? So you need to use that one. I am saying, or we have done what? We say that if you have something like called backtick or template literal, this is called template literal. So if you have got something which is called template literal, what you need to do is that you have got var S3, and it says that first string. Now, I don't need to stop it here. Rather, what I'll do is that I'll place this $sign plus these three things like in between variable, and this has a value. And what is this value? Its value is hello world. And let's change the second string and call it second string so that we see the difference. Second string, right? So I'm just saving it just to save. So S1 has some value, hello world, and is using single quote. Second string S2. S2 has some value of second string, is using double quote. Now you see, Rishabh, we are concatenating, but concatenating very easily with no issues at all, no problems at all, and just placing our, this is called string interpolation also, and this is called the backticks where we can do all these things. Rishabh, I hope you got the point, because we have to discuss some other important things as well. Rishabh got the point? Okay, that's very good. Rishabh is now getting the point. All right. So, and also Unicode. You see here that non-ASCII code in different languages, in Spanish, in maybe Japanese, Chinese, and etc., and Arabic, and everything, it has been given because JavaScript like is used widely and on web. So it basically supports all those things in our languages. These are called non-ASCII characters. These are not ASCII based characters. All these characters are ASCII based, so it can store any type of string in it, and you can work on that. Okay, so this was the way to define a very string without anything, and now we are defining that same string by using new string. I hope I'm just very confident here that now you know the difference between these two, right? Everyone, just have a quick quick yes in the chat window so that I will just now start working on that. I'll start playing with that, right? Okay, that's very good. That's very good. So now what I'm doing is that I'm just deleting or maybe just keeping one string. And this first string, we are taking this string as maybe anything. And the best sound in this world, comma, is your name. I'm just taking one string, and we'll be just playing with this string and overall in this program. So all of you, I would like all of you to just follow it me, and then I will be just following, and I'll be just telling you some of the interesting things about that. Okay, so in JavaScript, wherever we have to concatenate strings, you have seen that we can use that plus, we can use that concatenation, we can use that string literal. So I'll be looking at some of the methods that will be just doing all those things. So if I want to just place, there is no, for example, there is no dot after this line. There is no period after this line, right? And if I want to just print that period, what I'll do, console.log S1 plus single quotation dot and then this one. Everyone agrees? And if I run that, okay, now let me just stop, or maybe yes, we can just run that because we are running on that. So we'll just look and keep on running that. So do you see there, best sound in this world is your name, and there is a period with it. So period has been concatenated with it. Now, Why we are discussing that? So Mark asked the same question. Can I do it by using the template literal? Now, those who are not 100% sure about the the literals, what I can do is that I can place a backtick over here, right? And what I can do here is that I will use the dollar sign and these curly braces. And anyone, those who are less comfortable, please, I'm not asking to everyone. Those less comfortable, what should I place inside in between that? Yes, what should I write over here in between these curly braces? Anyone? S1, Sufyan, this is good. No question mark. This is right. And what should I do after that? Because I need to have a dot after that name. Because if I print that, okay, just check that. I'm not placing anything. Just a variable, I've placed it, right? Now see here. Yes, now we don't have a dot over here. And if I want to place a dot over here, what I'll do, I will just place a dot over here. Yes. So Maro, isn't that easy way of just concatenating things by using this our template literal? Is that becoming easy? And if you have seen assignments clearly, you would know that there will be a lot of. So what are the different ways of defining this, or what are the different ways? Dot for. I'm talking about dot for. Okay, dot is nothing. I'm just saying that if you want to concatenate anything with your string, for example, I say that concatenate. For example, yes. I say that yes. I'm just finishing the sentence. You're right. So try. For example, if I say to you that after this sentence, just concatenate your name. So what you do is that you will do this something like this. Try me, right, and save it. And now check it. So yes, we are ending the sentence, and now what we can do is that, so is name and try Lee. Yes, so after curly braces, everything else you write is some string. So again, after curly braces, and again, whatever you write will be the string. If I say to you that concatenate a dash with it, you will be just placing a dash. So something like that. So concatenation is a very, very easy thing, and it depends upon you that how you want to do that. So again, what are the different ways that we can do that? Let's define another variable, var word1 equal to. I'm just trying to tell you that how are the different ways we can do that, and we can add and so for example, this is the word is equal to s1. Now, what I want to say is that I want to have an inverted commas around these two, like this string. If I want to put an inverted comma around that string, if you want to do that after dot, you want to place that inverted commas around that. So now, one of the way of doing that would be, first of all, double quotations, as Mark mentioned. Then you can write backslash. So you remember what was the backslash used for? Anyone? Why did we use backslash? Anyone remembers? It escapes the next character. You remember? It escape sequences. Do you remember? Backslash n, backslash t, backslash a, backslash b. There were lots of escape sequences that you use in C language. I hope you remember those ones. Can you? Jonah remembers. Try says okay. Cancel specify. Yes, exactly. So what I'm doing is that, first of all, I'm escaping this inverted commas, and then I will have to combine plus s1, then again plus, then inverted commas, then escaping an inverted comma over here, and then pressing over here. And now no backticks over here. I'm trying to run word1. Let's see what will be the output. Saved. Come to your program, run that. You see inverted commas are coming over here. Inverted commas, the best sound in the world, and there is no dot rather. So if I need to have a dot as well, you know what I will need to do. For example, I'll have to just place a dot maybe in a string, because this is just string, so it will just concatenate it. So you see there, the period is also over here. The best sound in this world is your name. So inverted commas has come over here. Now, can anyone quickly write down in chat window, what should I do to this statement to make it more easy? Because always see there, it's how difficult it is to try to remember. Inverted commas, backslash, inverted. So this inverted commas is printed out of the output, and this inverted comma is printed out of the output. But again, how difficult it is to find that out. So can anyone tell me that what is the easy way of doing that? Anyone can write in the chat window, what should I do to this word 1 is equal to something to make our life easy that we have discussed today from our today's discussion. That's very good. You know, this is very good from Mark. Mark, thank you. And Andre, thank you very much. I hope you people are getting these concepts. Word one equal to word one equal to what I will do is that backticks first of all backticks, and yes, you are right that you forgot that backticks, and then dollar sign, or then inverted commas, and then dollar sign, and then S1, right? And then inverted, then dot, and then inverted commas. Save that, and now run this. Okay, isn't that cool? What do you think? What do you people think? And let me tell you something very interesting. As I told you in the beginning, it's not only that you will be placing the variables. What you can do is that you can even place the expressions over here as well. Let me just tell you another example. If I write dollar brackets 2 plus 2, and let me write that the sum of 2 and 2 is 2 plus 2. Yes, let's run that one. Maru, did you get the concept? These have the expressions as well. So this is making our life more easy and easy. So that is becoming more and more interesting, that we can have any expression over here. We can have lots of expression over here, and we can just work on those expressions. And if I ask you, let me give a very quick exercise just for nothing. N1 equal to 2 and var N2 equal to 3. Now, can you make this statement in a way that the sum of 2 plus 3 is 5, and this should be the sum? Can anyone write this statement in the chat window quickly? I need these N1 and N2 to add together, and the result should be displayed in this template literal form. Can anyone give it to me quickly? Zilalim, look like can you just run that? The sum of 2 and 3 is 2 plus 3. No, Sufyan, I want to have this. What if I change this value to from 2 to 22? So then you will have to change your string again. No. Let's see what happens. Vishwa is still remaining. Vishwa, there is still some problem. There is some problem. Yes, you forgot something. Okay, Alex, no one has still given a complete right statement. I'm waiting for the complete right statement. Still missing. Who will be writing the most correct statement? Okay, Sufyan, it's very easy. I'll tell you it's very easy. Give us 30. Yes, no. Okay. Yes, okay. Still missing, Vishwa, still missing. Okay, now I'm telling you, Sufyan, see here, what will happen? Okay, just let me remove this one, or not even remove this one. Rather, I'll have to tell you. Yes, looks like now someone has come up. The sum of, now I want you to use, Sufyan, variable, not a constant value over here. The sum of dollar bracket N1 and dollar bracket N2 is, right, dollar bracket N1 plus N2. And I can use a dot, I can use whatever you want, because now this is a normal string. Sufyan got the point. Now save this one and run this one. You see here, Sufyan. So now what is happening is that you change the value at the top, and you don't need to change these values. Sufyan, you remember I was saying that you are writing 2 and 3, so I'll have to all the time change these things as well. So what you do is that you just go and I write 220, and instead of 3 I'm writing 30. So I'm just changing the values and just running it, and you are getting the most updated output with all respects. The sum of 220 plus 30 is 250. I hope some of you have also found this as well a cool thing. Nashin, this is good. Nashin is clear about that. This is very good. Okay, that's very good. Now we have to work on something interesting. All clear? That's very good, Ahmed. Thank you very much. Now we have to start something very important. Another important discussion about that. Let me just remove all these things, and I'm hoping that you are copying everything. Now I want you to write a function that adds a period towards the end. There is no period. Sufyan, you have the video with you. You can always go back and see the video, right? You will never get that. Sorry?
What did you say? I didn't catch it.
You are talking about the last sentence that I'm saying?
No. What was the question?
Okay. I don't want you to do anything right now. What I say is that now we are starting to make functions that will add period to our string, because we want to see that there are very important aspects related to that, right? So you don't have to do anything right now, right? So it's I will be doing. So now this is the same string, and I want you to create a function that ends this sentence. So function and word, let's name it a bit simple, and it accepts maybe s or word. It accepts a word, and what does it do? Say it will return. What does it return? It returns word plus single quotation dot. Same way, I'm just starting this function, and we can just work on this function, and we can make it more and more beautiful as you want. You would be using backticks, and you will be using lots of things. Now, if I call this function by using console.log end word, and I'm passing s1 here. Now, s1 is what? S1 is my string on the top, right? So now I'm trying to create a function that is doing all those things. So I hope everyone can copy this one alongside me, and then I will be just save that and run that. Does it work or not? Okay. Oh, there is.
I think you messed up the semicolon.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I missed out this semicolon. Where I missed out that semicolon?
No. So yeah, right there, you're supposed to put in more parentheses right there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. So yes, that happens. Usually that happens with me. All right. So the best sound in this world is your name. You see that? So it's a function. No big deal. What we want to see here is a very interesting concept. What is that? If I pass not s1, rather I pass it 1. Quick reply. What should be the output? What will be the output? If I pass 1 dot, that's very good. The answer will be 1 dot. And why is that? Because whenever you pass a number, not a string, it will just concatenate that, make it a string, and it will concatenate it 1 dot. Alex Bejin, thank you very much. So this will be doing what? Okay. Now the other question: if I don't pass anything, Control S, what will be the answer? Quickly, Mark, Justin, and Alex. What will be the output? Dot. Anyone else? Dot. Anyone else? Dot. Let's run it. You are saying that it will be showing dot. Let's see what it shows. It shows dot, but it shows undefined before that dot. You know why? Because it is expecting us, like, it is expecting a string variable over here. And if a function is expecting anything and you do not pass that parameter to it, you call that function without the parameter. So something which is passed is called undefined, and undefined is coming as a word. This word is being undefined. Why? Because you have not passed anything into it. Are you people getting why this is showing undefined over here? Undefined and dot? Yes, exactly. Khushwant has now guessed. I'm trying to guide you everything related to assignment. Khushwant, that is what I'm doing right now. If you'll realize that you'll be using all these concepts for your assignment, and you will be making those functions more and more easy for yourself by using these concepts, right? So undefined means while you are not passing anything, so it will say that undefined. So you see that sometimes you find that in your web pages as well, you find an undefined error. So you must be wondering that what is that undefined error. So that is that undefined error, that a function was expecting something and I'm not passing anything to it. So again, if I pass back it s1 and save this one and run this one. Okay, the best sound in this word is your name, right? So we can control that one as well. You know that how we can control that. I can write if s, and I can just cut it from here and paste it from over here. So if the s has been defined, then you define that. Otherwise, you define what? A single dot, nothing else. Now, will that save our life? Will that save our life? Yes, this will save our life. Why? Because if we don't pass anything, Okay, mine's okay. I'm only having connection problems with. Okay. Jason, yes, looks like it's on your end, and if someone else is having, you can. Okay, now see here. If I just remove this one. Okay, so if I just remove this one and save this, and you run. So Jason, you can look at the videos later on. Just don't worry about it. And you see here, oh, S is not defined. I've just used some wrong variable somewhere. Oh, not word S. This is word. If word has been like it means that word is truthy. Something has been provided to word. Right. It is not saved. If word plus this, I think now it should be fine. It should not be doing now what it's doing. Why unquote reference S is not defined? Where is that S we are using? I've used this S somewhere. Line 5. Yeah. Oh. There are some questions coming, or like there are some comments coming on, but looks like I am disconnected from it. I'll have to just quickly connect. All right. Are you people able to hear me? Because looks like my system has again doing something wrong with me. And if yes, so I'm hearing that sound of the message only. So I know that you are saying that yes or no, whatever. Okay, I'm just connecting with my other user because then I will be able to see better what is going on. So looks like my system is also telling me that it's a break time. We are also reached to 2 hours.
So Professor, the code is working for me. I think you didn't save it.
Sorry.
The same code.
Yeah.
I guess so, because the exact same code works for me.
Oh, okay, that's very good. So looks like that I was maybe I was unable to save that or something else has happened. So I'll look at that. Don't worry. I'll just look at that. If it's working for you, that means yes, the code is correct. But the problem is something on my side. Let me just see in the chat window. Okay, so I've just missed out the chat. I have just missed out all the chat. If you have written down something after Jason's, yeah, it keeps cutting out for me. And after that, I've missed all the chats. If there is something important after that, if you can just please type that, because I have my other system also logged in with you using. I can see that chat over here. So, okay. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. All right. So yes, I was maybe unable to save that. Now I have saved this one, and let's see if it works for me. Or still okay. My browser has, it's everything is just for some time has gone freeze, and I have just filed the complaint. For your information, I told in the morning class as well. This is a new laptop that I buy from from Lenovo. It's X1 Carbon, and it's working hell bad. So I will never recommend anyone to buy X1 Carbon again. Right, Jalalem, you are right. Because my system is just freezed, and that's why it's not working. And hopefully it will come back sometime. I don't know. There's some browser issue. Browser is doing bad, and it's not updating. It's I have saved that, and it's not refreshing my page. If you see, this is all is freeze. Yes, you are right. Chrome is good, and I can work on Chrome as well. Let me just try that. If the Chrome is working, then we can have that local host running at least, and that will give us the good sense of local host, not 8080. It was 3003, I think. Yes, looks like it should be working. Inspect. Oh, it's 002. Sure. Oh yes, thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. It's 2. I was looking at 3. So now it's a console. Okay, so it says that favicon not found, no problems. Let me just run that. Okay, it's not showing anything. Okay, it's only showing a dot to me, and I forgot that word. Okay, yes. So if you have not passed anything, yes, it's working now, and I think now it's all working for me. Yes, now everything is working for me. So this goes on a break for some time, and I'll have to just change this laptop hopefully by today. Anyhow, so this is what it is doing. And now what is happening is that um, it's basically doing what we are just handling, that if word is not defined, truthy value or falsy value, remember. So if it is not defined, you can just return only dot. If it is working, then you can define a word. So far so good. Everyone is getting concepts what I'm discussing today, and hopefully you are enjoying today's topics. That's very good. Now we are taking a break till it's 12:44 in my clock, so this will be 12. We'll be taking a 5 minutes break, right? It's 12:44, so I'll be giving around 12:50. I'll be back, right? I'll answer you, and if someone else can answer, that will be good for me. Thank you. Okay, so we are back. Hopefully everyone is with us. I just get the message. Welcome back. Thank you. I can see you. That's very good. Okay, so today we have to discuss a few things. So I won't be waiting for others. I hope everyone is with me and everyone will just start chiming in. Now, let's start and let's directly come to our business for today, right? Because we have got lots of things today to discuss, and I don't want to waste a single minute today, right? So let's talk about this. We have this one, and now I want all of you to go back to this this console environment, because here we want to just do something, and I want to just show you some few important things. Now, yes, so this in console environment, I wanted to tell you about what are the different string options that are available to us, and the function. When we were just leaving, we created a function, and that function was add period, or this was the end with, and that was ending our function. And now what we're talking about, what we are talking about is that someone was trying to ask, and hopefully Mark has replied to Sufyan. Thank you very much, Mark. You have given a very good explanation of everything. So what I'll do here is, okay, so what I'll do here is that I will just take this string again, and let's play with this string again, but this time we are playing with it in our console. So var maybe new string equal to, hopefully this has been not defined well already. So I've defined a string, new string. Now, as I was telling you, that there are certain properties, there are certain features that we can just use to work in our functions, and they are very interesting functions. They are very interesting properties that we can work on. Now, the first one that we talked about, if I say new string dot, the first one is the length. Now, this is a very important one. So it means that the best sound in this world is your name. It has basically 41 length. So if I want to know the length of any string, what we do in JavaScript is that we just place the name of that string along with dot length. Not only this, you can even do this. Hello space world, how is everyone? Something like this. This is a string, and I'm not defined it. I'm not saved it in some of the variable, but I can do that. Or length. If you see that it is even telling us the string length, and these are the different properties that we can use. So length is not a function. Please bear in mind, this is a property. This is not a function. So a function always comes with that invocation of that parentheses, and there will be some function that will be coming. And another thing that can be happening is that new string. If I ask you new string, and you are familiar with these syntaxes from your C language and other, if I say new string of 0, do you know that new string contains this what? This T. Okay, Sufyan, this is very good point. What is the point of knowing the string length? Would anyone like else, maybe Mark to answer, or someone else to answer that? What is the point of knowing the length? Is that a useless sort of thing, or it will help you a lot in your problems, or lots of problems? Okay, so there are lots of functionalities, Sufyan, that you want to implement on your strings, for which you need to know the length of the string. Let me tell you, and I'll tell you shortly, Sufyan. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so new string of 0. Yes, new string of 0 has displayed T. As you know that this is always the first character. It's telling us the first character of that, right? If I say new string, and if I say 4, I don't know what is at 4 location, but if I press, this says B. Why? The best, this 1 0, like 1 2 3 4 5, and if you start from 0 0 1 2 3 4, fourth location is the B, so it is telling us the B. So now we have got this one, and now let's talk about Sufyan said that what is the need of finding out the length. Now if you see string square brackets, and if I say new string dot length -1, please, I'm not asking to everyone, I'm asking to Sufyan right now. Right, I'm just asking to Sufyan right now. Sufyan, what does that mean? What is it giving now? New string dot length -1. What is that giving, Sufyan? Sufyan, quickly, I need your answer. What is that meaning? New string dot length -1. You do know. Other than Mark, other than Jason, who have been continuously trying to answer, I want answers from others. What does that represent? This E is what? The last letter. And you know, in array, when you have the length of the array and you -1 from that array, you always get the last letter. Sufyan, are you getting the importance of the length over here? And we don't know what is the length of this string. This string might be of, and I can do what? See here, and as I did there. So I am blah 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 whatever, and I'm just doing that. And if I say dot, so length, so right. And if I had to find out that, you know, the last letter, I could have just said that we can just find. So I can just find out not only length, but also by using that length, we can just find out the last letter as well. Oh, not only that, we have got this facility also, string, and you can use another function at char at, character at, and we don't know what is character at. For example, I don't know that what is the location, and I say 39. What is at 39 location? So it will show me M. And let's run it again, and I say what is at 3 location. So can you getting that? What is at 3 location? So at 3 location, it says it's empty. Why? Because you see here 1 2 3, this 0 1 2 3, this 3 is the space, and it's not a, it's nothing. So if you can find out new string and char at, so at char at, for example, you say 100, and there is nothing because 100 is not there. And what is the length of our string? Our length of a string, as we found out, was 41. So if I ask you new string char at 40, what should be the answer? E, you know. So to happen and to know the last letter of that, now you have 2 ways of finding out the last letter. You have first way that you can find out from length -1, Sufyan. You can do that by using new string dot length -1. Or if you want, you can, if you know the length, I tell you that the length is 40, or maybe the length is 122. What you will do is that you will use the last index, like for I told you the length is 40, for example. So it means that 41. So it means that 40 will be the last character. So you can just find out. And if I say that you can find any string on any of the location with using char at. Isn't that interesting? For example, if I say 38, I don't know what is at 38 location. So let's see, 41 is the last. So it says that A is at 38 location. So if I'm getting the point, knowing, like understanding all these strings, everything is understood now. Now, the same function that we created, that we developed, now I'm going to work with that, and you will love it. So as I said that one of the way of finding out whether there is, let me just close the terminal right now. So one of the way of using or finding out is that if you have a word and you check that if that word is coming and you are just placing it. Now let's just remove all this and redefine this function. I'll be just redefining that function, and this redefining will be done in a way that you will just like it. So I'm just making it to the very previous definition that we started in the beginning. So I don't know that whether it contains a dot or not. And let's call this function first of all with S1, and let's call this function with and word with S1 plus dot. Sorry, this happens with this. Okay. Oh yes. Oh no, not return. Sorry. Again, I'm just making a mistake. This should be word, right, Andre? Thank you very much. But this should not be S. S1 is that. So I'm talking about this word which is accepted, right? Okay. So see here. So this one should be doing what and not S1. I'm just yes, I'm passing here. So this S1 will be passed, and here this will be passed. So what will be the result? What will be the output? Let's see the output. And let's go to its console and see here. Okay, so the best sound in this word is your name dot. That's very good. That looks good. And the best sound in this word is your name dot dot. It has 2 dots over here. Now you know that we can use multiple methods to find out whether there is a dot at the end of the string. And here also Sufyan will come to know the importance of the length. Let's do one thing. Var last pause position equal to word dot length -1. Are you getting my point? What I'm doing? I have defined a variable called last position, and I've done word dot length -1. Do you find it useful to find the length of the string, Sufyan? It's really very important. Now, last word. And now what I can do is, there are multiple ways again here as well, but let's see. If word dot char at last position equal. I'm doing equal. I hope everyone remembers that. What does that mean? Okay. Someone has replied. I've not seen that reply. Okay. Jason Alfred is asking, what is equal? Okay. Would anyone like to tell me what is that equal? No type conversion. So, Jason, when you use equal, yes, strict equal. Khushwan, the name was the strict equal. So, Jason, when you use a double equal, it might convert the change of the type. You remember, you were passing a 1 and it was doing one dot. So strict equal means that it will be just not converting the types, checking in their own way. Now you see here, if word dot char at last position is equal to dot, so I'm doing this opposite. I should return only word because there is a dot already. And else, or not else, even we don't need else here. We can just write a one return. Return word plus dot. I hope everyone is getting that. This is the functions f, and yes, I hope everyone making sense of it. And if last position character is dot, what you do is that you return the word in itself. And if the last position is not dot, of course the dot is not there, you should. So now let's run this one and check whether this is giving us the right output or the wrong output. Oh, that's very good. Is it giving the right output to us? The dot and the dot. So there is no dot. Why? Because when this was passed, it has checked for this one and it says that this one was found over there. So it does not change anything at all. Okay, now there are I will stop here. Maruf, I hope that I'm not going very fast. Do you understand what I'm saying? Have you run that? Because I will just take everyone's feedback over here. Yes, so Maruf and Jason, do you understand? Yes, that's very good. Because again, sometimes I become fast and I never realize that I'm going so fast. So first of all, we have done that. What else we can do over here? There's a very interesting concept. What else we can do over here? Not using char at, rather, can I use this one? Word last pause. Yeah, Jason, no problem. I know. Jason, I can always see when you just log out because my window gives me that message. Yes, I know. Yes, your internet is not working fine. No issues. Don't worry. Right? So if word last position is equal to dot, still it will work. Everyone is getting that? And there are lots of functions over here. Let me show that. There is another function that we have not discussed over there, but let's see that what is the else way of doing that. If I say word dot last index dot, this is the last index. So last index means there can be multiple dots over here. So we are saying that last index of dot, where dot is found at the end, there is no dot after that. If that is equal to last index of for example, dot is not equal to last. So what we can do now, we can change this condition as well. Is not equal to last pause. If last index, if dot which is found at the end, like the last dot which is found is not equal to last position. If it is not equal to, can you tell me what conditions I need to change over here? Because now you people are very good in it. What I need to do, I have to just replace both of these things. Here I'll have to do, because what I'm saying, read my condition. So here I'll have to reply with a dot, and here I have to reply with no dot. So you got my point, what I'm saying over here? Because we are checking if the last index of dot is not last position. So last position is not the dot. This literal meanings that the last letter is not dot. If that last letter is not dot, add this dot to it. And if that last letter is already a dot, don't add to it. Yes, these are all. Yes, Khushwant, I'm telling you that these are all the pre-made, predefined objects and properties that come shipped with our string. You remember in the beginning, we lost, we wasted our 10-20 minutes in getting understanding that the normal string that you define in JavaScript becomes an object like string. Khushwant, remember? And object line string means data and function are collected together in one way. So Khushman, I hope you understand that, and I hope you are getting that in concept. And there is one another set of functions. Let me just tell you, there is one another set of function. I'll just let you know. Let's talk about that as well. So now we have got, I think it should have new string in it. A string, is it there? Oh no, so let's define it, because that is changed. So let's call it s1 equal to hello, bye, hi, whatever. So now we have this s1, and there are certain other functions as well. What are those? S dot ends with. Do you see ends with function? If you say, if it ends with, for example, if I'm talking about this s1 which I have defined, if it ends with d, it returns true. If I say that it ends with byd, it returns true. If I say that does it ends with hello, ends with, I'm just talking about, false. It's not ending with hello. So these are all the functions that we can always use that, and we can even use them to our function. Should I move forward?
I'm sorry,
Again, hopefully.
Pressure.
Sorry?
Sorry for interrupt. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know why. So because my PC is not working. Like, when I try to run go into like a page, it
Mhm.
said this site can be reached. Do you have any idea of that?
What does it say? Sorry,
It said this site can be reached.
cannot be reached. This is the message.
Local host refused
Yeah.
to connect.
Okay. So who is that I'm talking to? Your name, please.
Charlie.
Try. Try. Do you remember that we ran this server in the beginning?
Oh yeah.
So are you running that server? If you can see in your that your
I
server is
just closed
continuously running.
I just closed all the pages, and right now I
Oh,
try.
okay. So try. Sufyan, that's a very good question. Sufyan, in the beginning, I said that we are running this server, and this server is running for us, and it is giving us this localhost 3002, where we are doing all these things.
I got that page, but I'm not like they said like the internet is not working. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay. So do you okay? Just let me know. Try. Do you see this running in your terminal?
It's just like that.
Okay, this localhost needs to connect. Try checking the connection. Okay. So first of all, right. So do you see something like this in your terminal?
I don't see that right now.
Okay, try. Let's do one thing. I'll do it for you. Right now I'm in this condition, right?
Yep.
My cursor is at the very beginning. Let me just clear that. And now you see I'm not running any server,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So now if you run npx lite dash server and press enter, let's see what will happen.
Give me a second, please.
Yes, you need to just do that as well with me, alongside me.
Oh yeah, I got it.
You got it. Now this server should be running for you, and let me tell you, now that server will be running, and I'll show you that, because now it will change. Maybe it might change the port as well. So you need to know that which port it is running on, because it tries to find out the empty port, and then it runs on that.
Yeah.
So that's all. Yes. So it is running on 3002. It's running for the on the same for me, right?
Yep.
So now try. You will be good in it, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Right. So I was talking about the. Yes, no problem. Just someone is asking that they can leave. No problem. Your internet is really very bad today, like my laptop. Anyhow, so clear. So let's clear it. Okay. So, oh, your last index function is not working. Let me just check that. Let me just check that last index. Let me just run that as well, because it looks like it was not working for me as well. I will just quickly run that and check that if that is running. Okay, last index is not a function. Okay, let me just see. Last index is not a function. And word dot last index. Aspects of this talk. It looks good. I don't know. Let me just check that over there. Hello dot last index. Oh, you are right. So it is not index off. I'm missing this off. So that is good that we have checked that. Okay, I'm telling you, first of all, let me check that, Sufyan. Is it working now or not? Oh, yes. Now is it working for you? Last index, someone was saying, Khushwan, is it working for you now? It's a last index off. It's not last index. Last index off dot. So Khushwan, this is a very good question, because through this question we come to know that if there is something not working, you can just go and find out that built-in feature. Okay, so Sufyan, what's the last index? Last index is a function. Last index off is a function that gives you the last index of any value. For example, I am saying last index of dot. You know, Sufyan, look, see here. Yes. So yes, Sufyan, look, see here. There is E here. E in this statement. This is 1E, 2E, and 3E. There are 3 E's. Sufyan, you will know that. And if I say, just out of curiosity, I'm just printing it, and I'm just stopping these two. I'm commenting it out and just check. Oh, sorry. So I'm just doing that. Console.log. You see, I'm just printing what? Word dot last index of, right? And I want to see E. This is the last index of E. Now it will tell me last index of E. Control S, and now run this one. Word is not defined. Why? Because I may be just going out of okay, S1. Here we have defined it as S1. I'm taking word is passed as that S1, right? So I'm just checking this for S1, and you see here. So hello, the last index is 40. You see that this will be coming at 40, because if you see that my string has this E at the end. And let's check, because now you have asked this question, so let's check another method of this. Okay. S1 dot last position, and then index of this. We can check index of, for example, and you see E, for example. You see that what is the index of E? So it will tell you that what is the index value of E, and it will give you the first value, right? So we have this 2 at the first. So these are all the functions that you can just play with that. And then we have, can you explain the working of what is last index of function? Okay, so Rishab, see here. So last index is what? Last index of dot means that dot is found multiple times in a string, and if it is in multiple times of a string, it will just let you know. So if that last index of dot is not equal to last position, so here we have to find out last position. You know what would be saved over here? Length -1. You know, E is over here saved. Now it is checking whether this E is equal to dot. You getting that, Rishabh? It is checking whether this E is equal to dot. If this E was equal to dot, what it would have done, it would have taken some decision on that. You got it? And you know, if I do that, for example, if I do that, I pass it over here. So now can you tell me, Rishabh, and I'm asking to Sufyan. Sufyan, what will be saved in this over here? Last position. What will be saved in last position? Yes. Anyone will tell me what is the last position character over here now? A dot. Yes, Rishabh. You got the point? So last position is finding out the last letter, the last index of that, like last position, and then last index of dot is checking that whether dot is being coming as the ending of first string. If it is coming, then we have to take a decision. If it is not, then we have to take some other decision. Rishabh, I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that everything is making sense to everyone. Now I've almost reached to my all the contents, but there is few slight things remaining, and I'll try to do that in our next class. But I hope will it help you in your assignments when you'll be solving your assignment? Those who have looked at the assignments, you know that you have to work on those strings and lots of things. So you will find this very interesting. And yes, Jason or someone was there who had internet problem. You can always come back and look at this video for the rest of the things. So by saying that, I'll be signing off now. And if you have any question, you can ask now. If someone has a question, you can ask now. Anyone? If you don't have a question, I would love to have an exit ticket from you. And exit ticket might be the most interesting thing that you found today. What was the most interesting topic that you loved today? Should be the exit ticket. Yes. The most interesting part of our lecture today. Backticks, Alex, that's very good. So yes, backticks is a very interesting and very important concept as well alongside. Anyone else? Exit. Right. Yes, I need response from others as well. Yes, John, I have given I think it's someone fed me. I think it's February 3. I don't know. I don't remember. This is February 8 or something. So you can check on that, like where I have uploaded, where you have got that assignment. February 7. Thank you. Okay, Jason, that's good to know. But Jason, you can always look at the videos because you are very disturbed with the class, so you can always look at the video. So I'm Jason asking everyone to do an exit ticket and tell me what was the most interesting concept that you found today. Yes, it will be a Q&A, Jason. No, nothing. We are not discussing anything. John, you found sorry as very good. Okay. Oh, encapsulation, Jason. This is good to know. And okay, thank you very much. So I'm Charat, Khushwant Charat. You love that. Khushwant, if you will go and practice your notes of week 3, you will find all these things. Okay, Rishabh, a short conversation between us. I don't remember. Okay, made announcement. I've made the announcement. Okay, Devam, I will check your email and I'll let you know. Looks like Devam, I have not received any email. I'm not sharing my screen. Let me just quickly check that. Looks like I have not received anything from you today. I don't know. I'll have to just look at it. Oh, no, this is not the right email. I'll have to go to the right email. Oh, yes, Rishabh. Yes, Rishabh. Yes, I remember. Rishabh, you're talking about an extra session of coding? Rishabh? Oh, Rishabh, I will try my level best to have this session in this week, during this week. Don't worry. And I'll just plan that out. I'll have to just work on a bit and I'll let you know. Before this weekend, we'll try to do it. All right, this is good. Okay. So I'm about to check my email, Devam. If I don't find your email, you will have to just send that again. All right, I'm just logging into my email. Yes, Khushwant. Yes, everyone can join in. Now session has ended, and that session I'm talking about, thus everyone can join in. Okay. Yes, Devam. I can see your email, and let me just see what that is. And yes, Jason, you would love that session, and I would try to arrange that before this weekend, hopefully someday. Oh, okay. So Devan, I'll reply to that. I've seen your email. Just I have to just right now do something else, but I'll reply to your email before that, right? Thank you very much. Okay, then bye everyone.